What's going on, Arsenal family? Welcome back to the channel. And I need you to sit down for this one, because it is an absolute busy day in North London. We've got 3 separate transfer stories breaking, and I mean breaking, all at once. Arsenal are lining up a shock-free transfer for a Manchester City legend to cover for William Saliba. Arsenal is still very much alive in the race for Julian Alvarez, and we've got a number attached now, 130 million euros. And on top of all of that, Arsenal have made contact over a RB Leipzig wonderkid who might already be halfway to PSG. 3 stories, 1 video, all the details, let's get straight into it. Right, let's start with the one that shocked absolutely everybody, John Stones. Now here's the situation. William Saliba, our rock at the back, played through the World Cup with a back issue that had been bothering him since last season. In France's semi-final against Spain, it flared up badly enough that he was forced off at half-time. Arsenal are still waiting on the full medical assessment, but the fear internally is serious. We're talking a potential 5-month layoff, possibly needing surgery, possibly keeping him out into the start of next year. That is a massive blow. Saliba and Gabriel were the defensive spine of our title win last season. Losing him for any extended period is not something you just shrug off. So what's the plan? Arsenal are looking at John Stones. Yes, that John Stones. The Manchester City legend who left the Etihad this summer after a decade there and became a free agent. He's available. He costs Arsenal nothing in transfer fee. And here's the kicker. Mikel Arteta knows him inside out. Arteta spent over 3 years as Pep Guardiola's assistant at City, working with Stones every single day. He knows exactly what he's getting. A ball-playing centre-back who fits straight into our possession-based system. And Stones has actually been in great form. He became the first ever unattached player to represent England at a World Cup. And he impressed in the knockouts, including going toe-to-toe with his old teammate Erling Haaland. Now, it's worth being honest with you, this isn't being framed as a guaranteed starter signing. This is short-term emergency cover, a stopgap while Saliba recovers. Arsenal are also reportedly considering other names like Ezri Konsa and Real Sociedad's John Martin. But the fact Stones is even being discussed tells you how seriously Arsenal are taking this Saliba situation. If you're new here, hit subscribe now because we're going to be covering every single twist in this window. And trust me, today is just the start. Now let's talk about the dream one, Julian Alvarez. This saga has been running for months now, and it's genuinely one of the messiest situations in the entire transfer window. Alvarez wants out of Atletico Madrid. He said it himself publicly after Argentina's World Cup run. He told Atletico exactly what he wants, and it's a move away. The problem? His dream is Barcelona. Not Arsenal, not Real Madrid, Barcelona. And Atletico do not want to sell him to their La Liga rivals under any circumstances. Their CEO, Miguel Gil, has come out and said their position is unlimited, meaning they will reject any offer, whatever the number, if it's Barcelona knocking. So where does that leave Arsenal? According to Fabrizio Romano, Arsenal are watching this situation extremely closely. The valuation being talked about is around 130 million euros, which would smash our own club record fee that we paid for Declan Rice. That's the kind of number that tells you how highly this kid is rated after the season and World Cup he's had. Here's the important part for us as Arsenal fans. Andrea Berta, our sporting director, has apparently had direct talks with Alvarez's camp, and the response from the player himself has been that he'd be open to Arsenal if the Barcelona move can't happen. That's not nothing. That's a genuine door being left open. But, and I want to be straight with you here, right now, Barcelona remains his priority. Arsenal are in a wait-and-see position, ready to strike if that Atletico-Barcelona relationship completely breaks down, which Romano says is genuinely tense right now, verging on toxic. If Alvarez can't get his dream move, Arsenal are positioned as the most credible alternative. This one's a slow burn, but it is far from dead. Let me know, down in the comments. Would you want Arsenal to go all in and try to hijack this before Barcelona sort their finances out? Or do we wait it out and let this play out naturally? Okay, story 3, and this is the one that just broke, Yan Diomande. Quick introduction if you don't know the name yet. 19-year-old Ivorian winger, currently at RB Leipzig, an absolute live wire. Last season in the Bundesliga, he had 12 goals and 8 assists in 33 appearances, made history as one of the youngest players to hit double-figure goal contributions in a Bundesliga campaign, and then went and had a big World Cup with Ivory Coast on top of it. His stock has genuinely never been higher. Now, Arsenal's interest here makes total sense when you connect it to our other business. Remember, we already got the Christos Tzolis deal done from Club Brugge for around £34 million to replace Trossard. But Arteta wanted a genuine statement, left-sided attacking signing on top of that, and Morgan Rogers was the top target. That deal collapsed when Chelsea swooped in and got it done instead. So, according to Romano, in the days after losing out on Rogers, Arsenal made checks with Diomande's representatives to understand the full picture at Leipzig. Here's the problem though, Diomande already has personal terms agreed with PSG. The French champions have been in this race for weeks. They beat Liverpool to his signature in terms of player preference, and PSG are now the ones actually negotiating a transfer fee with Leipzig, who are believed to want more than 100 million euros for him. So, where does that leave Arsenal? Right now, realistically, this looks more like Arsenal doing their due diligence, checking the situation, seeing if there's any late opportunity, rather than a serious advanced move. PSG have the head start on personal terms, and unless something changes dramatically, they're best placed to get this over the line. But here's the thing about this Arsenal window so far. We've already seen how quickly situations can flip. Rogers looked done, then Chelsea hijacked it. Alvarez looked stuck at Atletico, and now there's daylight. So don't rule anything out completely. What does this all mean for Arsenal? So let's zoom out for a second, because taken together, these three stories tell you a lot about where Arsenal are at in this window. On the defensive side, the Saliba injury is a genuine crisis point, and it's forcing Arteta into free agent contingency planning rather than a planned transfer strategy. That's not ideal, but it does show the club being proactive rather than getting caught out. On the attacking side, this is where it gets interesting. Arsenal have already strengthened with Solis. They tried for Rogers and lost out. Now we're seeing them keep multiple doors open at once. Alvarez as the long-term dream statement striker signing, and Diomande as a possible wide alternative if other targets fall through. What that tells me is Arteta and Berta aren't panicking, but they are being aggressive about exploring every avenue. This is a club that knows the title defense needs reinforcements in multiple areas, and they're not going to just accept the first setback and move on. Now, I want to hear from you on this. Out of these three, would you take Stones as pure emergency cover, no questions asked, given the Saliba situation? Do you think Alvarez actually ends up at Arsenal this summer, or is Barcelona always going to win that race in the end? And, on Diomande, is this genuinely dead in the water with PSG so far ahead, or is there still a puncher's chance? Drop your predictions in the comments. I read every single one, and I'll be pulling out the best takes for our next community post. That's everything we know right now on Stones, Alvarez and Diomande. What's going on, Arsenal family? Welcome back to the channel, and I need you to sit down for this one, because it is an absolute busy day in North London. We've got three separate transfer stories breaking, and I mean breaking, all at once. Arsenal are lining up a shock-free transfer for a Manchester City legend to cover for William Saliba. Arsenal is still very much alive in the race for Julian Alvarez, and we've got a number attached now, 130 million euros. And on top of all of that, Arsenal have made contact over a RB Leipzig wonderkid who might already be halfway to PSG. Three stories, one video, all the details, let's get straight into it. Right, let's start with the one that shocked absolutely everybody, John Stones. Now here's the situation. William Saliba, our rock at the back, played through the World Cup with a back issue that had been bothering him since last season. In France's semi-final against Spain, it flared up badly enough that he was forced off at half-time. Arsenal are still waiting on the full medical assessment, but the fear internally is serious. We're talking a potential 5-month layoff, possibly needing surgery, possibly keeping